fine. I wonder if they'll announce these for your, in addition to the form. Okay. Which is good because that's a lot of things.
It is.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. I don't. Yeah, cool. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
He's over there. I'm gonna go. The two left here. Careful. I think we're ready to get started, everyone.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. And I want to thank everyone for being here. Such a beautiful Wednesday morning. We have a lot of folks who have gathered for this announcement. I want to make sure that Vanessa Lynn is nearby because she's going to be speaking. I also see Ed Moore, who's already nearby because he may be speaking. Cindy Geronimo, if you could come nearby, she'll be speaking. And obviously Councilman Nick Komives is going to be speaking as well. So we are here today with an exciting announcement. The City of Toledo is launching a debt forgiveness program beginning this Friday, which is October 1st, to help residents catch up on their past due water bills. We know that during the pandemic, a number of people faced financial hardship. A lot of families fell behind, and we have, I think, been a leader in the state in developing policies and programs that have helped average men and women in this community recover from a once-in-a-100-year event. This is another example of a program that we think can make a real difference in the lives of people who are struggling. Low-income, senior, and disabled residents are eligible to have their past due balances forgiven under this program. Eligible charges would include any water, stormwater, or sewer charges prior to Friday, prior to October 1st. Any outstanding balance that occurs after Friday could be, or from trash charges, for instance, could be eligible for an installment plan, which we routinely provide to citizens, but not for debt forgiveness. The debt forgiveness are for debts that were accrued before this Friday, October 1st. Who is eligible? There are four eligibility criteria that we're looking for. First of all, you have to live inside the city of Toledo. Secondly, you have to have past due charges of at least $250. I'm sorry, of at least $200. And again, water, sewer, stormwater from prior to this Friday, October 1st. Thirdly, you have to have an income at or below 200% of the federal poverty level, or 300% the federal poverty level if you are a senior or disabled. And fourthly and finally, you need to stay current on all new charges while you're enrolled in the program. Beginning this Friday, we encourage residents to call 419-245-1800 or to visit our website, specifically toledo.gov oh.gov/debt-forgiveness to register. Or you could, as always, you could always call Engage Toledo 419-936-2020, and you'll be transferred to this debt forgiveness phone number. If you go online, our Promise Pay portal, it's easy to use, and it could also direct you to other additional affordability programs that we have set up. In addition, the city is going to be hosting community forums to speak to residents about debt forgiveness and to help residents get enrolled in the program. And a list of those meetings will be sent to the media today, as well as posted on our website. So this is, again, another way that the city of Toledo has responded to a crisis we haven't seen in 100 years. And whether it's the assistance we have for people struggling to pay their mortgage or to pay their rent, or in this case, their water bills, we have routinely tried to take the lead in providing programs and policies that will help people during this difficult time. And I'm proud to be announcing this initiative today, and certainly proud to be working with a team of people who care about, you know, those hardworking, real people who live in the neighborhoods who find themselves struggling during this time. One of those leaders is Nick Komives, council member at large. I'm going to introduce him now. He's the chair of council's Water Quality and Sustainability Committee. He's going to speak next, and you should know that he is an absolute leader when it comes to water quality issues, water affordability issues, and it makes all the sense in the world that he would be here today to talk about this program, which is going to help people who are struggling. So I'd like to turn it over to Councilman Komives.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So thank you to the mayor for hosting this announcement, because we've previously talked with you all, but there were a few new things to come with today. But more importantly, I just want to talk about the work that we've been doing as we try to recover as efficiently and smoothly as possible from the pandemic. And I think our work really started when we instituted a water shutoff moratorium that is still in place. So while we're offering a debt forgiveness program, folks do not have to be concerned about their water being shut off. However, we prefer to get folks into a position where they're able to pay off their debt, and so that was part of the impetus for creating this program. But we're continuing to be a leader by offering this new program. So I want to say quickly too, I attended I think an 8-week course on water affordability during the pandemic, during spring, and Cindy Geronimo with the city also attended that same program. And it was kind of impressive and wonderful to be a part of, because I'm fortunate to stand here also with who we lovingly refer to as Mama Lynn on our committee. But Nick Mandros is here from the Ohio Environmental Council as well, and there are a number of people that are here that represent various organizations in the city as a part of a working group that is focused on affordability measures and making sure that people have all the resources and access they need to keep their water on. And that group that we attended the water forgiveness, or the water affordability rather, program with was really impressed by our community organization that we've created, because we are continuing to develop programs like the debt forgiveness program, like instituting the water shutoff moratorium, like focusing on our lead pipes, which we are currently in the process of replacing right now. And these are the major focuses of this committee that we've assembled, and some of the good work that we've been doing. The reality is that our citizen-led initiatives tend to be the best, because we know that we can get the word out to serve the most people, and they have the biggest bang for the buck. But we're also talking about a bang for our buck, because a lot of folks might hear debt forgiveness and think, oh, so we're all going to be paying other people's debts. Well, the reality is this: our revenues are down. The department already has a large chunk of money that sits in unpaid debt, that's uncollected debt from folks going back to probably the 70s, I think, is a recent number that I heard. and we don't see that money. So this type of program is a leader in creating a wave, a revenue stream, there's lots of water puns here, that will increase the revenues that our Department of Public Utilities sees. So over time, programs like this across the country have actually increased the revenues that departments see. So our goal is to make sure that our water department can run and operate efficiently, and we can do that by collecting as much in terms of our water bills as we can. We've also instituted a policy where we're not charging any late fees or interest penalties to folks during this time, as we continue to review water bills and make sure that we can give those out as efficiently as possible. I'd also like to point out that the portal that the mayor alluded to or talked about is available in several languages, so we're trying our best to make sure that we can reach everybody in the city of Toledo. But my emphasis today is really that this is community-led, that this is driven by members of our community. We are actively listening, both as an administration and a council, to people. It is why you will see that reflected in the upcoming announcements around ARPA, but the reality is that our goal as a city is to listen to those folks in our community who help us to make policies and decisions that are beneficial to the people that live here. So I really want to thank the mayor and the administration for their work, Director Ed Moore for his hard work, Cindy Geronimo always working hard on these issues. So it's a good day when we can announce programs like this that really help our residents. So I'm excited to be a part of this team. Am I calling you up to introduce Vanessa, or you want me to go right ahead? Let's roll right in, huh? All right, so Vanessa Lynn comes to us from the Junction neighborhood as part of the Junction Coalition. They're large players in our water committee that is made up of people from across the city, and please come on up. One of my favorite moments from this summer was the moment outside the Doug where we celebrated this announcement the first time, and it was just such a good day because we've all worked really hard to make these policies happen. So please come on up.
Thank you, Nick. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Toledo Community Water Council, I'd like to express how pleased we are with the relationship we've built with the Department of Public Utilities, better known to most as the Water Department. For approximately 3 years ago, we started this process regarding water rates and water regionalization discussions before the Water Council was formed. This has been an uphill battle from and with community members that sit on the task force and serve on the Toledo Community Water Council. Together, we've worked very hard to come up with a plan to make water affordable with the hope that no one ever has to live without water again once the moratorium is lifted in January 2022. Going forward, there will be payment plans, debt forgiveness plans, etc. for eligible customers as well as lead service line replacement. But none of this will work at all if you, the community, does not take advantage of what we worked so hard to put together for you. So we are asking and pleading with you to do whatever is necessary to maintain your water service. Don't be ashamed. We're here to help you. We want to see everyone live with water. So this, all that we have done and will continue to do, this is for you, the community. We do this because we're concerned about community as a whole. So please take advantage of what you've heard being talked about here today to maintain water for you and your families. Thank you.
Ed or Cindy, do you want to, do you have anything in particular?
I'll just say a few words and then I'll pass it to Cindy to get into the details of what we're going to do. So, thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councilman Komives. I'm just going to take a few minutes to talk about the work of our Water Quality and Consumer Protection Task Force that was created by Councilman Komives, Mayor Kapszukiewicz, and I can't thank Councilwoman Gaddis enough also. She was a major portion of this. So when we started meeting, it was right as the pandemic kicked off in early January of 2020. And I think we said we were going to get together and try to really solve some community water issues as far as affordability, lead service lines. We're going to take 3 years to really work through some issues. As Mama Lynn said, it was quite an uphill battle when we first started getting together because we just didn't understand what our mission was. We had to really focus on what that mission was going to be. We had to learn each other. We had to grow together. Nick Mandros can attest to that also. But I tell you what, here we are almost 2 years later, and we are in a really, really good position to be able to help members of our community out that are really in need. So really the committee focused on 3 specific items. One was this debt forgiveness program. The second one was addressing all lead service lines in the city of Toledo, not just on the public side, but on the private side as well. So I think we're in a position now where we're going to be able to secure some funding to be able to remove not only the public side, but all lead service lines on the private side at no cost to the homeowner. So that's another big issue, and that came right out of our committee. And the third item was water and sewer low-income affordability study. We have completed that. We have that in hand. We're going to really sit down as a group now to focus on how do we develop a rate that works for everyone, not just the people who can afford, but the people who can't afford as well. I'd be remiss to say, I just thank Cindy Geronimo and her team at the Department of Public Utilities in the Division of Utilities Administration. Just incredible work to get us here to this day where we can say we're going to launch this program. Major milestone for the committee, for the community, and the Department of Public Utilities as well. And with that said, I'll go ahead and introduce Cindy Geronimo, and she can talk a little bit more in detail about what the program will consist of. Thank you very much.
Right, good morning. First of all, I'd like to thank the mayor and Councilmember Komives and Director Moore and of course our community task force members for, recognizing how important this initiative is. And, water affordability is a hot topic in our nation, as Councilman Komives had said, that with our mayor's innovation project, a lot of questions were being asked of, how we formed the task force and, our ability to, we quickly put together, an RFP to request an affordability study. We also looked across the nation to see what was being done and what we could do to make sure that people had the assistance that they needed. And so we're really excited about the things that we have to offer here. Starting on Friday when we launch debt forgiveness, we will be working with a company that's new to the city of Toledo called Promise Pay. And Promise Pay, their software application, has allowed us to create a one-stop platform for the Department of Public Utilities affordability initiatives. And what this means to our citizens is that you'll be able to go on there, answer some questions, and then be vetted for a number of affordability initiatives that are available. And so what we're looking to do here is make sure we streamline things for people, because we want to make sure that you get the assistance that you need. We've been in COVID for, almost 2 years now, and so we know that there's a lot of need. And so we're committed to making sure that people have the assistance they need. So thank you very much.
Before we wrap up, I want to thank our friends who are helping us with American Sign Language, so everyone is able to participate and learn about the specifics of today's announcement. And I suppose maybe as a final remark, I want to piggyback on something that Councilman Komives said, and that's about we talk about equity, maybe in some ways the reverse equity of what we're doing here. Isn't this unfair to, those who are paying their bills? Aren't we cutting off our nose to spite our face? Isn't this going to hurt our tax collection efforts? Actually, it's just the opposite. And I can speak to this perhaps with my years as experience as Lucas County Treasurer. County Treasurer's Office does little more than collect taxes, actually, including hard-to-collect taxes, and it is the case that sometimes citizens just disengage from city government, county government, and they become hard to contact, hard to work with, and it's understandable. They are fearful, perhaps, and years can go by without any interaction between the governmental entity and the person who owes a bill. Programs like this that bring those citizens back into the system, that put them in contact again with those of us in public life, end up paying for themselves. These are individuals who, as Nick said, some essentially have been lost in a lot of ways to our system. Now, by being brought back in a debt forgiveness program, they will be able to be put on future payment plans if needed, and they will be interacting with our system in a way that frankly they hadn't been for a number of years in many cases. So this is not only good for the citizen who is struggling to pay bills. Over the long term, it's actually good for the entire organization because it brings in resources over time that wouldn't be brought in, because it creates an incentive for citizens who have disconnected from the system to come back on their terms, and allows us to then work with them, put them on payment plans, et cetera. So I'm glad Nick brought that point up, because this really is a win-win. It's a win for citizens who are struggling, but big picture, it's a win for the city at large in terms of bringing in the resources we need to run the city. So with that, is there anything else for the good of the order? I want to thank everyone here. I see a lot of representatives from, I guess I won't call it the water department. I'll use the more euphemistic phrase. Any questions, or should we do one-on-ones?
You guys did an announcement similar to this, and I think it was August 1st was the time that you had to be in arrears that you could qualify for this. Was that program successful from August to now, or I guess I'm wondering like why the relaunch today?
So actually, it did not launch in August. When we went to council originally, we made it really clear that that was going to be a hold spot, a holding date, and that we would more than likely come back to council and amend said ordinance to change the start date. We did exactly that. We changed the start date to October 1st, so nothing ever launched on August 1st. It's October 1st.
Okay, I see. And so if it's up until October 1st if you're in arrears at least $200.
Correct.
It's okay.
Correct.
And you're within the poverty guidelines
Right,
and live in the
right.
city of Toledo.
Are the parameters still the same about like if you maintain the payment for the 12 months?
Yes.
Then that's when
Yes.
it's
Nothing
forgiven
else.
and falls
Nothing
off.
else changed from August 1st, other than the date of going from August 1st to October 1st. The rest of the ordinance still remains the same.
Anything else you guys are doing to get the word out besides these community meetings? I know that, Nick, you mentioned like the coalition that you guys have put together. That's why you're hoping this will be helpful, because people will know about it. I mean, how else are you telling people this is available?
Inserts, community papers, as many, social media, our website will be updated frequently. Just any way we can, utilizing the task force too, so.
And especially the community meetings we're going to do. We're going to do 8 community meetings and press releases, whatever it takes to make sure we get the word out. We've talked to the committee to make sure they get it to their constituents as well. We are not trying to hide this. We want it to be as popular as possible, and with the help of Ignacio, we've done a good job blasting that word out to make sure that people understand that help is here if they need it.
We're hopeful that events like today will help spread the word.
We also, when we were doing the affordability study, had people go door to door, and so we were sharing the information at that time too. So we've been working hard to get the word out on this already.
Thanks.
Okay. If anyone wants to do one-on-ones, we'll be available, but otherwise, thank you. Thank you. You stole the show. You did a great job. Great job. You're a natural, yes. You should run for office.
No.